Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Juliet, and if you are new here, welcome. You found this reading for a reason. Nothing about your being here right now is a coincidence. The universe pulled you to this specific video at this specific moment because there is something you need to hear today. So take a breath, settle in, and let's get into it. Before I even pull these cards, I want to say something to you. I want you to really hear this. There is something about you that is ancient. I'm not talking about your age. I'm not talking about your experience. I'm talking about your soul. Your soul has been walking this earth long before this lifetime. You carry something in you that cannot be explained by logic, cannot be measured by science, and cannot be contained by any box that people have tried to put you in. And a lot of people in your life can sense that about you, even if they've never said it out loud. Some of them love you for it, some of them fear you because of it, and some of them have spent years trying to figure out how to dim whatever it is you carry. But here is what the cards are telling me today. They cannot dim it. It is not possible. What God placed inside of you was sealed before you even took your first breath on this earth. And today, these 6 cards that came out for you are going to confirm what your soul has already been whispering to you. Let's go. I want you to sit with that for a moment. Not some things, not the things you planned, not the things you prayed for on your timeline, everything. Every single piece of your life right now, whether it looks beautiful or whether it looks like complete chaos, is unfolding in your favor. That is the message of this first card, and I need you to receive it fully. Because what I'm feeling in this energy is that a lot of you have been in a season that looked like nothing was moving. You've been doing the inner work. You've been showing up for yourself. You've been making changes, making sacrifices, walking away from things that no longer served you. And from the outside looking in, it may have seemed like all of that effort wasn't producing any visible results. People around you may have questioned your choices. Maybe you even questioned yourself in the quiet moments at night. But the cards are showing me that behind the scenes, something extraordinary has been being built for you. Think about the way a seed works. You plant it in the ground, and for a long time, there is nothing to see. The ground looks empty. It looks like nothing is happening. But underneath that soil, roots are going deeper than you can imagine, building a foundation strong enough to hold everything that is about to come up through the surface. That is exactly where you are right now. You are at the point where the roots have gone as deep as they need to go, and what is about to come through the surface is going to be something that not only changes your life, but shifts the lives of everyone around you. I also want to address something specific that I'm feeling in this energy. Some of you have been dealing with delays, and those delays felt personal. It felt like the universe was punishing you, or that you were somehow behind where you should be in life. And I want to dismantle that thought completely because what I'm seeing is that the delays were protective. The timing was not random. There were versions of your blessing that came early and they were not yours. They were not built for your level. There were versions of what you prayed for that arrived before you were fully formed, and if they had been given to you then, they would have broken you rather than elevated you. So the delay was God saying, "Not yet, because I am still preparing you to be able to carry what I am about to hand you." And now you are ready. The preparation is complete. The unfolding has begun. Pay attention to the shifts happening in your life right now, because what seems like small, insignificant movements is actually the beginning of a massive avalanche of blessings coming toward you. Oh, this card hit differently when it came out, because what I'm sensing is that a lot of you have spent a significant portion of your life feeling unseen, feeling like you poured into people who could not or would not pour back into you. You loved people fully, openly, completely, and somewhere along the way, those experiences of loving people who were not capable of loving you back at your level made you start to question your own worth, made you start to wonder if something was wrong with you, made you build walls that were so thick that even when good love tried to enter, you didn't know how to let it in. And this card is a direct message from the universe addressing that wound specifically. You are deeply loved. Not just by a person, not just by one source, but by God Himself, by the ancestors who came before you and paved the way for your existence, by the spirit team that walks with you every single day, and by people in your physical world whose love for you goes far deeper than what you've been allowing yourself to believe. What I'm being shown is that there are people in your life right now who think about you constantly, people who hold you in prayer, people who see your strength and are inspired by it in ways they've never told you, people who, when they describe you to others, speak about you with such reverence and admiration that the people listening think they're talking about someone extraordinary. And they are. They're talking about you. The reason this card came out so powerfully is because the universe is asking you to soften, just a little. Not recklessly, not without discernment, but to begin allowing the love that is already surrounding you to actually reach you. Because love has been knocking at the door of your heart, and you've been so accustomed to protection mode that you sometimes can't tell the difference between something that will hurt you and something that is genuinely safe. You are loved beyond measure. You are loved beyond what your human mind can currently comprehend. And as you step into this new chapter that is unfolding for you, you are going to start experiencing that love in more tangible, undeniable ways than you ever have before. Now, this is the card that requires the most courage, because this is the card that is asking you to stop running. I see so many of you in this energy who have mastered the art of pushing things down. You went through something that broke you, and instead of sitting with that pain and actually processing it, you got up and you kept moving because that was the only way you knew how to survive. And I want to honor that. That survival instinct saved you. It kept you functional when the grief could have swallowed you whole. But what the cards are telling me is that survival is no longer enough for where you are going. The version of you that is about to step into everything that is unfolding cannot be dragging unprocessed grief behind them. Those old wounds, that old heartbreak, that old anger, that old sense of abandonment or betrayal, all of it needs to be felt in order to be released. Feel it to heal it. That is not a passive statement. That is an invitation. The universe is creating safe enough conditions right now for you to go back and pick up those pieces of yourself that you had to leave behind in some of your hardest moments. Because when you left those pieces behind, you were trying to survive. But now you're no longer just surviving. You are building a life, and that life needs to be built on a whole foundation, not a fractured one. What I'm also seeing is that for some of you, this process has already begun. Some of you have been going through something recently that stirred up old emotions, and you couldn't understand why something that happened years ago was suddenly surfacing again. That is not regression. That is not you falling apart. That is your soul saying the time is right now to deal with this, because what is coming next in your life requires your whole heart, not just the parts of it that survived. Give yourself permission to cry. Give yourself permission to be angry. Give yourself permission to sit in the discomfort of the unresolved. Because on the other side of that discomfort is a freedom that you have never experienced before. And that freedom is what is going to allow you to fully step into everything that this reading is confirming for you. All right, so now we are moving into the energy around a specific person in your life. And this is significant because what I'm seeing is that this person has recognized something in you that they know they cannot afford to take lightly. Let me explain what I mean by that. There is someone who either is in your life currently or is about to re-enter your life, and this person has had their own journey of transformation in the time that they have been separate from you or in the background of your energy. They went away and they did some work. Not because someone forced them to, but because the thought of losing you permanently was enough to make them confront things in themselves that they had been avoiding. They are ready to prove consistency. Not to tell you about it, not to promise you about it, not to give you another speech about who they're going to be. They are ready to show you with actions, with time, with presence, with reliability. They understand that words mean nothing to you at this point. You have heard words, you have been given promises that evaporated, and you have gotten to a place where if something is not demonstrated through sustained, repeated, undeniable behavior, you simply do not believe it. And this person knows that about you. They have studied you. They understand the way you process trust. They understand that your walls exist for legitimate reasons, and they are not approaching you this time with the expectation that you're going to just open up immediately. They are prepared to be patient. They are prepared to do the slow work of rebuilding. What I want you to take from this card is discernment, because the cards are not telling you to throw the walls down the moment this person shows up. What they are telling you is to be open to the possibility that some people do genuinely change. Some people genuinely need to go through their own fire before they are capable of showing up the way you always deserved. And this person, specifically, has been through that fire. Watch the actions. Give it time. Let consistency reveal itself over a period that actually means something. And trust your intuition above all else because your discernment was given to you for exactly this reason. This card is deeply emotional and I want to handle it with care because what is coming through here is something very raw and very real. You love this person in a way that most people are not capable of loving. You love them through their worst. You saw them in their lowest moments and you did not run. You held space for their pain even when they had no idea how to hold space for yours. You believed in them when they could not believe in themselves. You gave them a version of love that was patient and forgiving and generous in ways that went far beyond what they had earned. And at some point in this connection, that love was not properly honored. It was taken for granted, mishandled, perhaps even used in ways that left you feeling like loving someone that deeply was a vulnerability rather than a gift. But here's what the cards are revealing. This person has done the reflection. In their quiet moments, in the moments when they're completely alone with themselves, they see it now. They see the magnitude of what you gave them, and they feel the weight of not having matched it. They recognize your unconditional love not as something they were entitled to, but as something extraordinarily rare that they had and did not fully appreciate until it was no longer in front of them every day. This recognition is changing them. Not in a way where they're going to come back perfect, but in a way where they are more conscious, more intentional, more awake to the value of what they almost permanently lost. And for you, this card is also a reminder. The love you are capable of giving is not a flaw. It is not the reason you got hurt. You did not love too much. You loved the wrong version of that person at the wrong time. The version of them that is showing up now is closer to being worthy of what you carry, and that does not mean you owe them another chance. It simply means that your love was not wasted. It was seen, and it planted something in them that eventually grew. This is the card that everything in this reading has been building toward, and I need you to hear every word of this. Your person is coming back. But the version that is returning is not the same person who left, or the same person who hurt you, or the same person who was unable to show up for you the way you needed them to. The transformation that has happened within them is genuine. It is not surface level. It is not a performance designed to get you back. It is the result of real inner work, real reckoning with themselves, real dismantling of patterns and defenses and fears that were the root cause of every breakdown that happened between you. What I'm seeing spiritually around this person is a significant shift in their energy. Like they've shed something heavy. Like there was a version of them that was operating from wounds, and those wounds were the source of all the ways they showed up inconsistently or selfishly or without the emotional availability that you required. And those wounds have been addressed. Not perfectly, not completely resolved, but confronted, named, worked through enough that they are now operating from a fundamentally different place. You are not meeting them with the energy of, please come back and fill the empty spaces in me. You are meeting them as someone who is full on their own, who has done their own deep work, who has high standards and clear boundaries, and who is willing to explore this connection again because your soul recognizes their soul, not because you need them to complete you. This is the version of love that can actually last. This is the version of connection that is built on two whole people coming together rather than two broken people leaning on each other. And what these cards are showing me is that this is exactly what is on the horizon for you. The transformation is real. The return is real. The love between you is real. And the foundation that is about to be built is sturdier, more honest, and more aligned than anything you two had before. Before I close this reading out, I want to circle back to something because I feel like it is important for you to carry this with you. You came into this world carrying something that was not ordinary. The trials you have walked through were not random suffering. They were the specific curriculum designed to build the exact person that was needed to carry the spiritual weight you carry. And that weight, as heavy as it has been, is also an anointing. It is also a calling. And it is also a magnet for the kind of love, abundance, and divine alignment that this entire reading has been speaking over your life. Everything is unfolding for you. You are deeply loved. Feel it to heal it. They are ready to prove consistency. They recognize your unconditional love. And your person is coming back transformed. 6 cards, 6 confirmations, all pointing to the same truth. You are exactly where you are supposed to be, and what is coming next is going to make everything you've been through make sense. I'm Juliet. If this reading resonated with you, make sure you follow, because there is so much more coming. 2026 is the year where everything you planted in silence begins to bloom in public. Do not give up on yourself now. The breakthrough is here. I'll see you in the next one.